Bob Durant, a long-standing and honorary member of Eastleigh Sub-Aqua Club, together with other club members, dived this site in 1995, recovering the brass letter O, hence the name of our project. The site is 11 nautical miles south of Chichester Harbour and lies in 30 metres of water with a least depth of 25 metres over the boilers. It is just east of the Nab Channel, the main deep water shipping route into Portsmouth and Southampton. Before leaving shore, we conducted a desk study, including the UK Hydrographic Office REC list entry for the site, dive site literature and an internet-based search. The Hydrographic Office report mentioned the recovery of a brass plate with the inscription E. Donkin, Newcastle upon Tyne. The internet search revealed that the Donkin Company produced ship steering gear and that their company records were housed at the Tyne and Wear Archives, Newcastle. This prompted a trip by 2 team members to find out more. Our first trip out to the site was aboard Meon Surveyor, a vessel owned and operated by one of our team. The objective was to survey the site with echo sounder, magnetometer and side-scan sonar. The data was recorded using SonarWiz software and georeferenced using a survey-grade GPS. In this side-scan image, the series of high-contrast parallel lines are of particular interest as they can clearly be identified in the forthcoming diving video. This section of the side-scan mosaic shows the wreck in context on the seabed with significant features annotated.
Come on.
On the day of filming, we travelled to the wreck site aboard our 2 club ribs. We then confirmed the position of the wreck using magnetometer and echo sounder.
What do you are?
The wreck is lying on its port side at a general depth of 30 metres. It is lying alongside a low-lying ridge. When the wreck originally sank, it caused an obstruction to the tidal flow. This in turn caused sand, shells and stones to be deposited over the wreck, effectively burying it into the ridge. This explains why the diving took place at a general depth of 26 metres. The wreck tour starts at the bow. Here we see the bow stem. Here you can see the bow stem joining the keel. We used the ship's keel as a reference datum while exploring the wreck. Here the keel can be clearly seen from the outside of the hull. And now we see the keel from the inside. first major feature we come across is the main mast, which is a hollow tube and broken just above the belaying pins. This conger has made its home in the housing containing the coupling flange or bearing. We believe that the solid shaft and flange seen here are part of the prop shaft, which has been displaced forward of the boilers. It is of similar diameter to the section of shaft attached to the propeller. The hull has broken from the keel on the right and collapsed into the hold. This channel near the top of the hull possibly housed a timber rubbing strake. This hatch cover could clearly be seen in the side-scan sonar image as a 6 by 6 metre area with 7 parallel lines. The narrow width of this winch implies it is too small to be a wire winch. The team, having researched other winches, have drawn the conclusion that this is an anchor winch. The forward section of the wreck has collapsed into the hold. upright donkey boiler now lying on its side with furnace at its base. An inspection hatch and overpressure relief valve near the top. Next to the boiler are bollards and a hatch. Through the hole you can see a firebox.
These two bean cans represent the two main boilers of the wreck. The ring pools are the furnaces. When the ship sank, it landed on the seabed on its port side. After some time, corrosion and the weight of the starboard boiler broke its mountings and fell, landing upright on the seabed beside the port boiler. Later, the hull broke until it lay across both boilers. The steel plating rotted away, leaving just the ribs, as we can see in the video.
The midsection is more intact and held up by the boilers and bulkheads in the aft section of the wreck. The first main boiler has the top side of the ship collapsed over it. The rubbing strake is still visible, which is a good indication that this is the side of the ship. This boiler has moved into a vertical position where the ash pit and furnace stoke hole can clearly be seen. The second main boiler is lying in the correct plane. The tube plates are also visible on both boilers. Beside the upright starboard boiler is a passage that may lead to the engine, buried under the hull. Here on the left, the starboard hull has broken away from the keel. The break has exposed the internal frames within the keel area. We believe this is a cargo winch because the drum is wider than seen earlier on the anchor winch. It is lying on its back with one of the gear wheels broken off and on the seabed beside it. Arriving at the stern. The propeller shaft can be seen passing through a bearing set into a bulkhead. This is a series of strengthening frames at the stern of the ship, supporting the propeller shaft and stern gland. The stern post complete with rudder pintails. The rudder was not seen during the dive. The damaged four-bladed propeller within its aperture.
big.
come back, and I was here when you were there.
So we went the opposite way. We done the bow for.